good Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are across the virtual world of iRacing. LSR TV, your home for sim racing, welcomes you to the next round of the Adrenaline iRacing League. Tonight, it's coverage from Homestead-Miami Speedway. I am Wesley Outland, joined along in the booth is Greg Ranson. Greg, Homestead-Miami, precision banking, 3-4 wide racing, a premium. We could see that and more here tonight.
Oh, and I'm expecting it, Wesley. 160 laps here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. 1.5 miles exactly, and it's going to be a long one, but it's going to be a fun one. This track always produces some of the best racing of the season in any class that comes, and we're expecting another great one here tonight with the Adrenaline iRacing League.
We're glad you're along for the ride. Again, in the production chair is also Charles Wooten. The drivers are just getting ready to hit the racetrack and get prepared for qualifying, so let's do that as well as we just get ready to wrap up the historic Daytona road course event as Chase Elliott is about to beat Denny Hamlin as they come to the checkered flag at the road course at Daytona. Down Interstate 95 is the famed Homestead-Miami Speedway, and that's where we are virtually tonight as qualifying is set to get underway. Some of these cars going to try to put their best lap down to set the stage for this 160 lapper tonight.
It should be a good one, Wesley. We're going to have 5 minutes of qualifying in each car. Coming out for 2 laps. Qualifying is underway as drivers are making their way out on to the racetrack for the qualifying session tonight. You're taking a look at the number 25 car on track. That's Caleb Smith. In the 25 was bound near the bottom of practice, so looking for some more speed out of that number 25 car as he tries to get it going. As we get our qualifying session underway, Smith, the first driver to take time, 31.290.
Qualifying is underway. We'll see what these drivers can do here to knock their best times here as, again, we look on the upper left of the monitor. We see all these drivers, these beautiful-looking machines, put down what best lap that they can here for the Adrenaline iRacing League. I want to say this is round number 7 of the series here tonight, or round number 8 here this evening, as I'll be quickly looking at the point standings and where we are, where we're going from here, and so much more, as this series has become very, very popular for iRacing and for LSR TV on Sunday nights.
It has, Wesley, and this is a fun series to watch, and it's growing into one of our more popular series on the channel. Hello to everybody watching at home, and if you're here, take a quick second to say hello in the chat and let us know where you're watching the race from here tonight. From Homestead-Miami, Sardage Moran, and the number 49 is your current quick time, 31.107. Wesley, 3 drivers right now in the 31.1 bracket.
We'll see what they can do here as right now we're watching all these drivers making their way around the racetrack for their qualifying run. Again, this is qualifying for the Adrenaline iRacing League, preparing for tonight's event here for the Homestead 160. 160 laps here around the Homestead-Miami Speedway as these drivers prepare for this evening's event. Right now, the point standings show currently the point standings for the Adrenaline iRacing League. I want to say that it's Nick Massey currently the man that is leading the way currently in the point standings, and we're continuing to watch these drivers battle and fight for a championship as this racing battle continues here this evening in Homestead.
We are getting down to it here. Right now it's Spencer Hardison who is quick time right now. In the number 8, you're looking at the number 27. I believe that's Braxton Deweese in the 27, who goes 6th out of 31.233. Hardison, the first driver in the 31.0 bracket in the number 8. 14 drivers have taken time. Calvin Gretorix had some connection issues a moment ago. Wesley just made it back out. Bronson Stafford on track right now, going for his first qualifying lap. In a new look, number 61 got Cineplex on board this week.
Nick Massey currently the points leader over Jacob Grant. Spencer Hardison A couple of others as well, including Evan Coleman, Dylan Browning, the top 5 of the point standings right now in the Adrenaline iRacing League, as this race championship battle continues here for these drivers this evening here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Is again such a talent pool of talent we have here for all of these machines, all of these drivers getting ready to put their best lap down in qualifying. And again, you want to have a good lap because, yes, I know we do have the stage races. We have a first stage and then the second stage of the race. I think the first stage is going to be on lap 75 or lap 80. But with that being said, though, or I'm sorry, lap 50 actually is when the first stage is supposed to be wrapped up. But stage points goes towards playoff points, just like in the real deal for the Cup Series. Greg, they do the same thing for the Adrenaline iRacing League, and the more points you accumulate, the more it gives you the opportunity to run for the championship.
That's going to be huge moving into the playoffs, Wesley, because every point counts. Qualifying, wrapping up 16 cars, going to take time. Looks like 5 are going to fall back on the provisional. 21 cars are here in Homestead-Miami this evening for 160 laps. Qualifying is done. They're pushing out onto the grid. Wesley, let's go through tonight's starting lineup.
Starting lineup ready to go. It's going to be Nick Massey on the pole along with row 1. Jordison along with Massey to the outside as row number 1 is set. Row number 2 will see Sergeant Man in the 49, Tom Bourne in the number 54. Row 3, Trenton Jump in 46, Shane Therian in the 38. Row number 4, Braxton DeWeese in 27, Robert Kinney, the Daytona winner in the 34. He is 8th. Logan Brakey is 9th in the 29, and Caleb Smith in the 25, the top 10.
Jacob Grant going to roll off in 11th in car number 5 with Austin Gretorix to his outside. Matt Dyer rolls off in the 13th position in car number 88 with Eric Stamp to his outside in row number 7, 14th position. Bronson Stafford, the 61, not the speed he was looking for on qualifying, will roll off 15th with Tyler Stooksbury to his outside in the number 19. Those are the final cars to take qualifying time. Drivers going with a provisional are Evan Coleman, Alex Walter, Brockton Packard, Calvin Gretorix, and Matthew Rodriguez. 21 cars on the grid here tonight, Wesley.
21 drivers ready to go. 160 laps here around the virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway with the Adrenaline iRacing League on LSR TV. Don't forget coverage tomorrow night. Cup Series, you like Cup Series racing? Tomorrow night, we got a doubleheader of Cup racing after tonight's Cup race with the Adrenaline iRacing League. Tomorrow night, it is the Monday Night Cup Series with the World of Thunder. Greg, you'll be joining me in the booth, right? Tomorrow night?
For the Northwest Racing Series, not for the World of Thunder one.
Okay, not for the World of Thunder. I got you, buddy. Okay.
Yep.
Well, anyhow,
this is the week I can't do it.
We will have somebody in the booth. Maybe Joe Panino will step up to the plate. I know he done some color announcing the other night with Chris Nunn. Maybe we can put Joe Panino finally in the booth with me to call the World of Thunder, and he can kind of see firsthand what it's like to call one of these races, as we will have coverage of that Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central on LSR TV. And then again at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 Central, it is coverage of the Northwest iRacing Cup Series. Justin Prince, Greg Rentz, they'll be in the booth. I'll be on pit road, and I believe we're at Chicagoland Speedway in the virtual Windy City of Joliet, Illinois. All that great coverage coming up soon on your home for sim racing. LSR TV, livesimracing.com. If you're interested in a race or a league, contact Charles Wooten for information. Ready for the field to come to the green flag with Spencer Hardison, along with the number 4 of Massey to the outside. He's currently the points leader in this series, as we'll see what these drivers can do. Sergeant Man's got himself a good starting position tonight, along with Trenton Jump, the Daytona All-Star race winner. The iRacing Mustang pace car drops into the pit lane, down to the restart zone in the firing box. They come down the straightaway. We're ready to kick some asphalt. 160 laps. The next round of the Adrenaline iRacing League is green in turn 1 at Homestead. opening laps underway, and what a exciting one they've been. As Spencer Hardison leads the opening go, Nick Massey falling now back to third. Look at Sergeant Mann, Greg, moving that number 49 machine in power to the number 2 spot in the early going in 3 at Homestead-Miami.
Good run in the early going for Mann in the number 3, and he caught a break, Wesley, because looking at the race chat, he had some issues after qualifying. He almost got kicked out of the server for an incidental penalty that was assessed to him that wasn't accurate, so he almost got booted out of the session. Had to get it corrected before the race, but good for them to get it all sorted out, and here he is in second early on.
Underway here at Homestead in this 160 lap contest. I believe that lap 50 is when they will throw the caution for the first stage. There is 2 stages in this race. And again, this is 160 laps. Spencer Hardison leading the way, not wasting any time. Came on the air at exactly 6:30. You saw qualifying, and quickly they get on the jump and get underway. As Hardison, Mann, and Massey, the top 3 right now as they go to the back straightaway, heading for 3.
That red number 4 that Massey's driving was pretty good at Michigan a couple weeks ago in real life, Wesley, as Kevin Harvick won both Michigan races in that very paint scheme. Massey looking to keep the success going for the Busch Red number 4 here this weekend. It's been a pretty successful scheme. IRL, see if Massey can keep it going here on iRacing.
Turn number 2 down the back straightaway. You know, we mentioned that word precision banking. If you remember a couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago actually, there was a facelift done to the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Track is still the same configuration, 1.5 miles. And a lot of people don't realize this, Greg, but this track is a small mock, if you will, of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A lot of people do not realize that, but you notice you have a short chute in between turns 1 and 2. Into 3 and 4, you have the straightaways, which look so similar to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, gargantuan 2.5-mile racing capital of the world, as they prepare for the Indy 500 next Sunday with Marco Andretti on the pole. This track is a small replica of that.
Oh, that one guy who's looking for some speed here at this 1.5 mile is Sergeant Mann, because he's going for the lead, Wesley, as he's to the inside of Spencer Hardison. Almost clear, not quite. Will he clear off turn 2? No. Hardison coming fighting back on the outside. Mann had the nose in front, but Hardison engages him in a drag race into turn 3.
Back across the line, Sergeant Mann battling along with the leader, Spencer Hardison. This is for the lead as they come down the straightaway. Mann looking for the lead. Hardison will make the outside lane work as they go back into turn 1. Mann on the inside. He'll carry the points leader. Massey with him up the racetrack. We said precision banking. You're about to see that here at Homestead in the early going.
Yeah, this side-by-side battle has brought the rest of the field up, with Massey leading the way with Bourne, Jump, and Deweese right there with him. 6-car breakaway at the front of the field here. Side-by-side for the lead between Mann and Hardison, and then you got 4 just waiting in the catbird seat if something happens. Look at Trenton Jump. He's right up on the back bumper of the number 54 of Bourne, giving him a shove down the front stretch, and has to let off into turn number 1, which is going to allow Braxton Deweese to get a run. Look for Deweese to make a move into the top 5 here as he's on the inside.
Look at this now, a 4 or 5 car battle for the lead. They're all right there fighting at it like it's the last piece of chicken on the dinner table. To the inside, no crumbs left over to boot. Into turn 3, Mann will get the jump. He'll go to the lead. Hardison will fall back to second. Now Massey up the outside lane. He'll carry now Deweese and Bourne for 3rd and 4th as they go to turn 1.
Mann leading the lap. He's led the last 2 on the ticker, so he will finally clear Hardison. But Massey now to the outside, and we're going to see that, I believe, Wesley, more and more through this race. You're going to see guys gradually making their way up top, as Deweese may have had something happen to him in the number 27, because he is off the pace, as he has lost 3 spots now to Brecky, Therian, and Grant before he settled things back down. So Deweese suddenly is now just barely hanging on to the top 10 after being up in 4th last time by. He's now being scored in 9th. He's recovered, but he does have some damage on the right front.
Back across the line, 12 laps in of 160. Sergeant Mann leading the way. Massey in that number 2 spot. He's currently the points leader of the series. Hardison put down a great lap in qualifying. Spencer in that number in his machine currently right now sitting in 3rd spot. Lost my track there for just a second. And while we actually watch now some other cars start to climb the field, Logan Brakey is starting to make a run on Tom Bourne for 5th and 6th. Carry also Shane Therian with them as they go back to turn 2.
Shane Therian in the G Fuel colors this week. He will get around Brecky. That is for 6th on the charts. They've got Jake Grant and Braxton Deweese starting to get himself back into it here. Deweese making do with that slight right front damage. So slicing and dicing here in the early stages, but all in all, pretty clean race thus far as we got a side-by-side battle now between Grant and Brecky. This is for 7th on the charts as Brecky able to hold on in the Sportsnet Ford, but look at Grant trying to make a run on the outside.
Understanding that Robert Kinney scraped the wall in car number 34. We're going to see if our production truck is able to catch the replay of what happened with his machine. No caution yet on the Daytona winner, Robert Kinney, in the G Fuel number 34. And I'll be honest with you, since we have had Kinney win, as now we see a replay of what happened with Robert Kinney. Watch the yellow 34 upper left of your screen. Now they come roaring down the straightaway. Watch that car. The yellow 34 G Fuel entry. Now he's on the bottom left. Now he's on your upper right. Watch that car as he shoots up the racetrack into the concrete. The safer wall barrier virtually here. And a save there for the driver of Kinney.
Yeah, just the kiss, but it goes to show just how little it takes to have something like that go wrong. But Wesley, I'm noticing he is starting to go up higher and higher, so that's the product of what happens when you try that, and we're seeing it more and more. Drivers who were at the start of the race kind of riding the bottom, slowly making their way up. The sun is setting here at Homestead, so by the end of this, I think you might be able to expect some drivers being right up on the wall, Kyle Larson style.
This race will finish under the lights, and that's one of those other interesting factors, factoids, if you will, that we will see definitely come into the fruition here tonight. We are 15 laps in. 15 laps in. Trouble! Front straightaway! Couple of cars tangled and get together. I was just about to take us to a commercial break, and now we have a caution and a car spun. Number 5, Jacob Grant, losing 10 spots in that exchange. He got mired right in the pack and lost it. Here's a look at the replay. Down the back straightaway, and then he lost it coming off of turn 4.
This is going into turn number 3. That's Gretorix in the 13. You got Deweese right there, the 27.
Yep.
Some blinking there from Brecky.
That's net code, and Deweese got to the left rear of the 5 of Grant. Not saying in so far that it was intentional, but it was a racing deal got to him. Let's go up blimp view and see if we can see from our LSR TV blimp high above the virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway if he had got into him, or could it possibly be a server issue there, if you will, Greg?
This will tell the story. You see there, and I think
he got into him.
I think that's just the case, Wesley, of trying to get up and get that run off of turn 2, and unfortunately just the car up there just doesn't quite give you enough room, and unfortunately they just come together there. No one at fault. No one did it intentionally. We go on board here with the 27 of Deweese. No intention there whatsoever. Unfortunate though, and Grant's going to get the worst of it here.
And now this is the problem here. He is second in the point standings. Jacob Grant is second in the point in the number 5 car. I'm sorry. I was looking at the driver roster here. I'm trying to see where he's at in the points currently right now. Yeah, he's currently outside the cutoff mark is what I was trying to say. He's in the top 14. So a tough break there for the driver of Grant.
We're on pit road, Wesley, and Nick Massey, who came in the pits in second, slid through his pit box.
Oh, no. A tough break there for Massey in his car. That man currently having a good run for him. Nick Massey trying to climb the ladder in the points in the number 4 machine.
He's only going to lose 1 spot, Wesley. Great job by the crew to recover there as Massey only loses 1 spot in that exchange.
That's right. Bronson Stafford, Shane Theory, and Robert Kinney. Christian Gomez, Trenton Jump, currently the top 5 in the point standings, along with Braxton DeWeese, Sergeant Mann, Caleb Smith, Eric Stamp, Austin Gretorix, all in the top 10. We are under caution after an accident involving Grant on the front straightaway. We'll step away. More coverage in a moment. This is the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series on LSR TV, your home of sim racing.
Let's go! It's in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we're off and racing for 300 laps tonight, 300 laps tomorrow night. Look at car number 110. He said, look at me, I'm out the lead. He is right in the middle of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, in reverse with cars going.
Greg Rentz, Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten on the broadcast production for LSR TV. Coverage continues here from Homestead-Miami. After a caution flag involving Grant's car, we're working lap number 20 complete. On lap 21 now, Spencer Hardison, Nick Massey, Trenton Jump, Shane Therian is currently your top 5. Sergeant Mann is the man that will lead him to the green flag. The 49 car, and this is a driver, Greg, that we've seen struggle on this series. Could tonight be the night that the chips align, the stars align for the 49 car?
He has been very strong in the early stages here. Wesley qualified third and is now sitting in the race lead, but he's got pole sitter Spencer Hardison to his outside. Massey had a nice recovery on pit road after sliding through his pit stall, only lost 1 spot. He'll have Trenton Jump to his outside. We reset, going to be lap 22, and we take the green flag. Field in the hands of Mann. We are back underway.
Back for the restart here at Homestead. Mann gets the jump. Single file, door to door with a hornet's nest behind him. One wrong slip and a bobble and he'll be caught. And one of the things that is different between Homestead and per se Daytona Talladega, look at what happened. He still has a pretty good margin of lead, but if you went to Daytona Talladega and you got such a big restart over the pack, Greg, they would suck you up.
Yeah, you are a sitting duck in that situation, but Mann making it work so far here. About half a second over Nick Massey, who's gotten right back to where he was in second, bringing Jump with him. So Trenton Jump showing some speed now. Into number 46, was hanging out around 5th in the race before the caution came out. Remember, 21 cars started, all 21 still on the racetrack here so far as we work lap number 23. Still a long way to go, 160 laps here as they race off into the sunset.
Sergeant Mann leading the way. Nick Massey, Trenton Jump, Hardison, Bourne, the top 5. As they roar back into the corner, they're all single file now. There's Trenton Jump in that number 46 machine. The winner of the Daytona All-Star race. What a show that was. And since then, he has been on a massive slump in that 46 car.
trying to recover and having a nice go here so far. Started 5th, up in 3rd, up a couple of spots. He has gotten around our pole sitter Hardison as well. Spencer Hardison in the 8 has fallen back into 4th. You see him right there as they swarm off in the turn number 1 and 2, single file throughout about the top 10 right now. And it's honestly good to see him settling down. In fact, the first side-by-side battle is all the way back 4/10 as Matt Dyer is on the inside of Robert Kenny. That is 4/10, and that's your first side-by-side battle on the racetrack.
This is round number 8. Daytona Auto Club, Bristol, Charlotte, the Glen, Richmond, Michigan last weekend, all in the books. And now Homestead. Next week, Indianapolis, Texas, New Hampshire, Charlotte, all on the way as we continue this series in the Adrenaline iRacing League on Sunday night on LSR TV as the leaders make their way again back across the start-finish line. Sergeant Man, what a strong run he's got in that 49 car. Massey right behind him in 2nd. Trenton Jump as Hardison, the pole car, sits in 4th. And how about the man Bourne, Tom Bourne, sitting in the top 5. That's a good run for that 54 car right now.
Yeah, very nice run for Bourne in the 54, up in the top 5 right now. Like you mentioned, another car with a new look here this week. Purple on the 54, nice looking car as he rides around in 5th. Kind of watching the battle in front of him as Hardison's gotten up on the back bumper of Jump, who in turn has gotten on the back bumper of Massey, who in turn has gotten on the back bumper of Man. So the top 4 right up on each other's bumpers, nose to tail, and Bourne kind of hanging out there watching it all unfold as Massey goes high, trying to get a run on Man off of turn number 2. Going to do the crossover here. Battle for the lead as Massey gets the inside going into turn 3.
Lap 27 of 160. Right now, things going good after one caution, after an incident involving Braxton DeWeese, who currently is in the 15th position, after contact with Jacob Grant, who lost 9 spots in that caution flag. Movers and shakers or fallers right now. Looks like right now Austin Gretorix is climbing the ladder in the number 7 position. Car 13. We'll show him real quickly as they're right on board with Stafford's car. Bronson Stafford currently the points leader of the series. He's currently 16th in the race currently. Moving up 5 positions is Austin Gretorix in the 7th position. We'll show his car real quickly, the number 13 entry, as that driver is got the most moves of the race currently, sitting in that position. Falling back is Jacob Grant, who brought out our first caution. He lost 9 spots. The man that is also losing the most spots, including without a caution, is Braxton DeWeese. He is down 7 positions in car number 27. So just some of the drivers that are climbing and falling here in the early going as we approach lap 30.
Trying to make their way through and settle things down. Lap number 30, still 130 to go as we got another battle for the lead as Massey has gone after Man into number 49, who had a big push from Jump, and now we go 2 by 2 as Hardison to the inside of Jump, and that's going to allow Tom Bourne to close right in here. Massey's got the nose in front as they come down to the line, and it'll be Massey leading that lap.
You win, you advance to the playoffs. Since Bristol, we have seen Bronson Stafford struggle. We mentioned him earlier. He's currently 15th. But to be honest with you, though, Greg, 3 wide almost for the lead. Man, Jump, meeting the sandwich is going to be the points man right there in the 4. Massey, oh, man, trying to get in there to the outside. 3 wide again, crossover from the middle lane to the inside lane. Now Jump is the hot knife through butter as they go into 1.
Man led the lap. Massey getting the run on the inside. Man's going to clear going into turn number 1. And look who else has joined the battle. Wesley Shane Therian saying hello as he's to the outside of Hardison, who has been passed by Bourne, as now Massey's kind of falling back a little bit. Led a lap, 2 laps to go, got stuck on the bottom here. Highline really beginning to come in. Man leading the way, but they're side by side on back. Gretorix joining in as well. 7-car breakaway here at the front.
We mentioned that word precision banking, and it is starting to show its ugly head here in the early going as we approach now lap 35 of this race. Sergeant Man, Trenton Jump, Nick Massey flip-flopping for positions as they make their way back down the straightaway. It's still going to be Man out in front, Jump in second, Massey third. Now Tom Bourne will show strength of battle. Massey on the outside for third as they go to 3.
Side by side for third, Shane Therian might be thinking 3 wide in the G Fuel Toyota. And yeah, but he's going to do the reverse as he's going to go down to the bottom. And now Massey's stuck in the middle as they roar down into turn number 1. Massey going to let him go. Shane Therian getting around Massey to move into 4th. Man still leading the way, but he's got some new challengers coming.
How's the lyrics to that 70s song go? Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. That's what Massey's thinking. Now he finally gets some clean air to the inside. He'll clear now Kenny. He'll clear now the 13 of Gretorix. And now that battle sets up single file as they come back down to the straightaway. Gretorix once more on Massey's inside as they go to turn 1.
Gretorix trying to get the run in the number 13, getting on the inside of Hardison. Meanwhile, up front, Jump tried to take a swipe at the lead, had to check up, which allowed Bourne to get right up on his back bumper. They get going back down the straightaway again. Jump going to take a dive on the outside. No, Man going to hold on. Sarge Man has led the most laps here thus far in the early stages, but he is having to fend off challenge after challenge after challenge. Another one coming here from Trenton Jump.
Remember, lap 50 will be that competition caution to signify the end of the first stage. Remember, stage points will be awarded to the top 10. Sergeant Man looking good. He's out in front in that car number 49. Trenton Jump second. Third is Tom Bourne. Some drivers that honestly, Greg, have struggled, and now they're showing their strides in week 8.
Yeah, they are really starting to come in. Some of these drivers who struggled in the early going, including the likes of Bourne, who's up in the top 5. Great run for him. And Man, another one of those drivers, struggled early on, leading the way here at Homestead-Miami in the early stages. Great run for him. We have got all kinds of racing going on throughout the racetrack here. It has been fun to watch here in the early stages. Wes, we're not even halfway in this one.
Not even halfway. Still almost 120-something laps left to go here. We're about 13 laps away to the halfway break at the end of the first stage, if you will. Lap 80 is officially halfway for the race. But remember, there is that competition caution at the end of stage 1, working lap number 50. Sergeant Man is leading the way. Jump in second, Bourne third, Therian, Massey, Gretorix, Hardison. The pole car is 7th, Stamp is 8th, Breaky 9th, and now Braxton DeWeese, Kenny has now moved to the top 10, but actually Matt Dyer will take the 10th spot away from Kenny as they come across the line. Another lap.
Still cycling them down. Lap 40, going to be 10 to go till the stage break at the line for Man, who's opened up a little bit of a lead now. Therian has gotten around Bourne for third, bringing Massey back up into the chat with him. So as things are settled down and we begin to have a little bit of spacing out now between the drivers. Lost my train of thought there for a second, but we're 10 laps to go now till the stage break. Man has led the most laps. Massey got his nose in front for a couple laps, and then of course Hardison led some in the early stages, but for the most part it's been all that number 49, Wesley.
Bronson Stafford, 3 wins on the season. Shane Therian, 1 win on the season. Robert Kinney at Daytona, 1 win. Christian Gomez, 1 win. Those drivers of the 7 races currently are the people that have done what they need to do to transfer into this event and to make it into the playoffs, per se. They're in the postseason, if you will. And right now, a battle going on for the lead. Nick Massey also has a win, but he is in the cutoff. New leader now, Trenton Jump. We mentioned him as the All-Star race winner. He's currently 5th in the point standings with no wins. That 46 will go to the lead in his Ford off of turn 1.
A crucial playoff point on the line if he can hold on for about 7 more laps, 8 or 7 more laps to go for Trenton Jump. But man, coming back on the inside, man, that number 49 is strong here thus far in the early stages, Wesley. But get a good run on the outside. His Jump, they almost come together, and man had to check up, and that's going to allow Therian to make a move.
These drivers fighting for position all they can. Remember, playoff points on the line. They are crucial. The better you advance your position, the better you climb the point system when they tabulate everything at the end of the regular season to determine the playoffs. Nonetheless, Trenton Jump, Sergeant Man, fight for position back to turn 1. And now here comes Shane Therian in the battle. A 3-car man for the lead with 7 remaining till the halfway break.
Therian in the new look G Fuel Toyota on the outside of Man. This side-by-side for a second. Therian almost clear. Man able to fight back. No, Therian with a nice run into turn number 3. Clears for a second. Now he goes after Trenton Jump. Going to be 6 to go until the stage break.
Back to the straightaway into turn number 1. Sergeant Man, Therian. Now trying to run down Trenton Jump. We have not mentioned that name for success on the series, if you will, since winning the All-Star event that actually opened up the Adrenaline iRacing League a week before Father's Day back in June, 9 weeks ago, if you will. And now he shows momentum. And is there something about Florida virtual tracks? He won the Daytona All-Star race, and now he's winning at Florida's Homestead-Miami, leading back to turn 1 with 5 to go until the end of the stage.
Trying to get that stage win and get a crucial playoff point, but Therian and Man, they both want that point as well to try to get up there after Trenton Jump. Nick Massey hanging out there as well. He's got a win on the season. Trying to get up there in the number 4. He currently sits in position number 4. Man coming back after Therian, and this little slicing and dicing going on between Man and Therian has allowed Massey to close back in. Jump's not getting away though, Wesley, as Therian got a good run off of turn number 4. He's going to be within a car length, and he's going to take a shot on the outside here.
Laps winding down here, coming up on 4 to go. Ready to put your cards on the table and make a move now. Thank you for everybody watching our coverage on LSR TV, Facebook, YouTube. Our coverage. Like, share, subscribe, follow at LSR TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The Adrenaline iRacing League, round number 8 tonight. Greg Rentz, Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten on the production, and we are about to come to the end of stage number 1 with still Trenton Jump out in front, but Therian and now Man battle for second. Massey licking his chops in the red 4 as they go into turn 3.
Closing stages of the stage, and here comes Man back to the inside of Therian, looking for it as Massey hanging out there in the 4, ready to strike in case something happens. Jump still leading the way. 2 to go till the caution. Stage now. We are going
Caution is being called now. They're saying they're throwing the yellow now. Somewhere before lap 50 is when the caution would be called, and that's what they're saying now. Stage complete now on lap number 48. So somewhere between lap 50, that's when they throw the caution. 45 to 50 is when they throw the yellow.
So we are back under yellow here for the second time today. This was planned, however, as Jump into number 46. Crucial one for him, Wesley, getting the stage win, getting that playoff point.
And what great points for the driver of Mr. Trenton Jump. It looked for a while Sergeant Man was going to be the guy to take the points away, but just came up shy in the end. But here's the thing, Greg. Yes, stage points, big hoopla. They're great. You want to add them, tabulate them to the postseason, but you want to have that checkered flag sticker on your car. And that's what really Trenton Jump is going for, and so is Sergeant Man and others.
Oh, absolutely, Wesley. Going for the race win. He got the playoff point. Now it's a sprint to the finish here. 110 laps to go in this one. Once we finish this cycle of pit stops, it looks like everybody's coming down pit road, Wesley.
Everybody is onto the pit lane. Everyone from first on back to 21st, all the cars are still on the lead lap, might I add, as here comes the field taking service on. We watch car number 46, Trenton jump. He'll go to his pit stall. So will also Sergeant Man. Everyone else, Massey's car, all of these drivers coming in, probably going to take on 4 tires, splash of that Sunoco fuel, tear off on the windshield, and get back out there, as it looks like Gretorix might have beat everybody out. Therian as well in 38.
Shane Therian getting the race off pit road there. And I believe Mann got around Jump as well. Jump kind of spun his tires there trying to come out of his pit box.
So as they come through the blend line, back onto the racetrack, we cycle things around, and Shane Therian, who has 1 win on the season, he currently will be the new leader. Stage 1 complete. We'll get ready for stage 2 and take you to the checkered flag. A new sanctioning body on LSR TV is NASRA. Wednesday night, the Outlaw Super Late Model Series gets ready for triple 20s on Talladega. Here's more details about NASRA, and we'll be back for the restart here in a moment from Homestead. For more information on NASRA, go online to NASRARacing.com. NASRA Racing on Facebook and the North American Sim Racing Association. Wednesday night, triple 20s at Talladega. And here's another twist to this scenario as well, Greg Rentz. Single points, double points, triple points at the end of the 20 lappers of the 320 lap segments. Wow.
Gonna be a wild one, Wesley. Make sure you guys tune in here to LSR TV Wednesday night to watch that one. I'll be at a real life racetrack that night, but I'll definitely be keeping tabs, and I'll be sure to catch the replay as soon as I get home that night. But definitely a race you're gonna want to tune in for.
And don't forget, also coming soon in September, the NASRA National Cup Series, the NASRA All-Star Cup Series on Thursday nights, and the NASRA Super Truck Series. So 4 different leagues, along with possibly ARCA coming, the NASRA ARCA Series coming to LSR TV as well. We are NASRA on LSR TV and CRN. Back for the restart with Shane Therian leading the way. As Sergeant Man is in second, Trenton Jump is third, Massey Stamp the top 5. The pace car gets ready to drop onto the pit lane, and we'll get ready to get things back underway here at the Geico restart zone. They roar. Green underway at the box. We're back underway into turn 1, and it's Therian leading the pack into turn 1 for the second half of the race.
Shane Therian trying to get a run going here. Still a bit before halfway, but we are in the final stage as they only have the 1 stage break here, Wesley, opposed to NASCAR, which has 2 stage breaks. Only 1 here in the ARL. It's go to the finish now with about 110 to go, as we try to make our way through the second stage here in the early going. Therian leading lap 1, but here comes Man, who was one of the fastest cars in the first stage, led the most laps of that first stage before Trenton Jump got around him. Speaking of Trenton Jump, he's to the inside of Massey, trying to get the third spot back as Massey got around him on that restart.
Just about less than 26 laps to go until halfway. 80 laps the distance for the halfway maker. 160 laps the distance, and we're closing in on under 100 laps to go when they take lap number 60. 160 laps the distance here on the mile and a half here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway, virtually on iRacing on LSR TV. Down the straightaway they come with now Mr. Sergeant Man back out in position. Here is the 4-car, Nick Massey. He's got Stamp behind him. They're closing in on Jump and Therian for P2 and 3 off the straightaway.
Jump trying to get the lead back as he went from 4th to 3rd, now going for 2nd. He wants the lead back as he gets around Therian, who led on the restart, but now he's got his work cut out for him because now he's got to deal with Man again, and we saw how tough it was for Jump to get around Man the first time. See what happens now with fresh tires.
What a job for Sergeant Man. Jump in that 2nd spot, followed by Therian. Now, Shane Therian has won a series event for the Adrenaline iRacing League. I think it was the race at Auto Club Speedway he won. And that was the opportunity to allow him in the playoffs. Let's just break it down for you real quickly. Bronson Stafford currently, well, hang on, my dominant scoring is acting up here real quick. Here we go. Bronson Stafford has 3 wins. Shane Therian has 1. Robert Kinney has 1. Christian Gomez has 1 win. And also a driver on the outside of the points is Nick Massey with 1 win. But here's the thing, he's not an active member. That's why he's not currently in the top 12 cutoff.
Yeah, so we'll see how it unfolds here through this one, Wesley, as the race unfolding. Coming up on lap number 60 this time by, which means the next time by we will be 100 to go in this one.
1 win for Nick Massey earlier in the series in his number 4 Ford, but currently he sits 25th in the standings because, again, he is not a member of the series. Nonetheless, the laps continue to tick away. Here, closing in on 100 laps remaining and 20 to the halfway break. 20 to halfway in this 160 lap event at Homestead. Here comes Kenny threading the needle, sticking his nose out there to make a run on Tom Bourne and company inside the top 10. While that goes on, here comes the 51 car. Haven't mentioned him any earlier. Yes, sir.
About for the lead, Trenton Jump getting the run on the inside of Man. Saw this at the end of the stage, going for it again as Jump trying to get back around Man. Man able to clear, yes, and Jump's gonna fall back in line to try it again in turn 1.
Follows back in line, nose to tail, back into turn number 1 and 2. With Man and Jump right there off of turn 2 down the back straightaway now. Gonna try to go for the inside now to make a run. Thought better of it, nose to tail. They're all single file. At least the top 15 are as they go to turn 3.
Coming back to the inside again is Trenton Jump. 46, 49, and they almost get together off of turn number 4, but Jump able to keep the momentum going. Drag race to the line. Give it to Man. We're inside 100 to go. They touch into turn 1.
Look at this battle. It's for the lead. Jump, Man, for the first time this season in this series, they're finally showing that they deserve to be on the top of the scoring pylon, that they have an opportunity to shine in the spotlight. Jump and Man 1 and 2 battling for that spot, but look out behind you, Shane Therian licking his chops, the Auto Club winner, reeling in 3rd as they go to the straightaway.
Getting a run in that number 38 as Here comes Jump in the number 46, trying to pull away as they are making their way through the field. Wesley, here's the manufacturer's breakdown on screen, and I'm noticing something here. Top 16, all Ford and Toyota. The highest scored Chevy right now, Austin Gretorix in 17th. What does that say about how strong the Fords and Toyotas are here this week?
What a performance for those Fords and the Toyotas. Only, 3 Chevrolets in the mix with Packard, Walter, and Gretorix all in Chevrolets. Everybody else is in Toyotas and Fords. More Fords than Toyotas, mind you. And Sergeant Man trying now to reel in Shane Therian for second spot. He falls back to third. While this goes on, Trenton Jump says, you guys do that, I'm going to pull away. But no, they'll stay single file, nose to tail, no breakaway whatsoever. The freight train roars back to turn number 1. And I will say one thing as well. Keep your eye on the 5 car. Jacob Grant has cracked the top 10. Remember the 5 car. Jacob Grant, he brought out the caution earlier in the race. That number 5 car. As now we got a battle for the lead. As here comes Therian looking around, jumping, carrying man with him for the lead off turn 2.
Toyota to the front. Shane Therian able to clear on the 46. Who gets right on the back bumper here. And Therian gets the run in front. G Fuel back out front. But he's got Ford Performance right behind him.
What a new leader. The driver, Shane Therian, the Auto Club winner, has now moved to the number 1 position. Trenton Jump falling back to second. Sergeant Man third. Another lap. Watch Jacob Grant. I mentioned, though, he's in the top 10. He's behind the 3-time winner of the series this year, Bronson Stafford. And to be honest with you, Greg, we've not really seen a performance out of Bronson the last couple of weeks since he won that long 26 caution field race at Bristol.
It's been a while, and Bronson trying to recover in the number 61, slowly working his way up into the top 10. In 9th right now, trying to pull up on the 88 of Matt Dyer. Stafford was back around 17th when we last checked in with him, so he has quietly worked his way up through the field, and here he is in 9th, clicking him down. We're about 13 laps or so from halfway, about 12 laps from halfway now, actually. So closing in on halfway, and Stafford has slowly made his way up into the top 10, trying to get up there and try to make some noise for this one by the end of the race.
Just checking to make sure that we do have it correct with Shane Therian winning. Yes. And my apologies, Shane Therian won Charlotte and Club. He actually has 2 wins on the season for the driver. Nope, my apologies, actually. The points is all messed up here, so I'm trying to make sure I give out that right information here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, well. Bronson Stafford won Auto Club. My apologies. So I'm trying to find which race it was that Shane Therian won, but it's not being documented here.
Well, he's looking to win Homestead here. Looking to win Homestead as he is trying to pull away from Trenton Jump. Has opened up a little bit of a lead, so he's trying to get going, but a big run out of Jump into turn number 1. He's going to carry a lot of momentum through this one, Wesley. Able to fend it off, though, is Therian.
Closing in on 10 remaining to halfway. Shane Therian leading the way in that number 38 machine. Trenton Jump in second. Sergeant Man third. Nick Massey is fourth. Eric Stamp currently in the top 5. As the laps tick away here, closing in on the halfway make of this race. We'll get your thoughts and analysis. What is your thoughts, Greg, of the first half of this race here this evening at Homestead?
Been a fun one. Typical Homestead racing, multi-groove, a lot of different passing options and drivers trying different things, and we've seen it work for several drivers. We saw Man be the strongest car of the race in the first stage. currently sitting in third. Nice run. We've seen drivers inside, drivers outside, multi-groove racing. And as the sun goes down, the action goes up here at Homestead. We see it every year, and we're seeing it again. Therian leading the way. We're a little bit from halfway, but it has been a wild one so far, Wesley. Looking forward to the second half.
I think I could agree with you on the same sentiments as well. The first half of the race, very clean for the most part. One caution, if you will, when Jacob Grant spun in the 5 after contact with 7th place Braxton DeWeese on Speedway now. But DeWeese continued on. So did Jacob Grant. He's now on the outside, top 10 and 11th. And the other caution was for the end of the stage. And the stage winner, again, was the driver of Trenton Jump. And while that goes on, all these other drivers doing whatever they can and more to get themselves into position for the second half of this race here. It should be a good one at Homestead-Miami as we approach 5 laps remaining until the halfway mark.
Therian still leading the way in his G Fuel Toyota, trying to pull away from Jump in the Ford. Been a nice run for both these drivers, and now things have started to settle down. Therian beginning to open it up a little bit, Wesley. We still have 4 cars under a second back of Therian, and then you find 5th place Eric Stamp, who he's a guy we haven't talked about a whole lot here today, Wesley. He started 14th. He has just cracked the top 5 in the number 53.
Eric Stamp, we just, again, one of those drivers that, again, as I said, just quietly starting to climb the ladder. He currently sits 27th in the point standings, starting to make his way up through the top 5 here. And my apologies, he's actually 9th in the point standings for Eric Stamp as these drivers make their way off the corner. Still looking to see what can be done as, again, Bronson, Therian, Kenny, and Gomez are all locked in the playoffs for the postseason with a win. If you win, Greg, it's kind of like the Real Cup Series. You advance into the playoffs. As we see a battle for third heating up for position, as you just said. That goes on. Man, followed by Massey and Stamp all in that mix off the corner.
Massey got around Man coming off turn 4 last time, and now he's going after Jump for second. Look out. The number 4 Ford Mustang is heating up here in this one as we close in on halfway. He's starting to make a run now up back towards the front. Man to the inside once again, but Massey able to fend him off, trying to size up Jump for a run. Can the Richmond winner get another spot here and move up into second? He makes his move into 3.
Trying to make something work off that corner. Off of turn number 2, or turn 4, down the front straightaway. As Therian pulling away from Trenton Jump. He's opened up that margin to almost a second. Trying to, if you will, a second back now is Trenton Jump. Massey to second. Man is 4th. And the biggest mover of the field climbing the ladder, as we mentioned a few moments ago, Greg, Eric Stamp in car 53. There he is behind that pack. Behind Sergeant Man. 9 positions in this race.
Very nice run for Stamp to go from 14th to 5th. And coming up now on Sarge Man, who was the strongest car in the field in that first stage. Far and away led the most laps in the stage. Came home second, has fallen back to 4th, and is now under pressure from Eric Stamp and the Progressive Ford Fusion, making a run here for 4th as they come off turn number 4 down the front stretch. Stamp trying to size him up, but just like that, Man to the inside of Jump taking a peek going into turn 1.
That battle goes on for continuing in the top 5. This is Jump and Man for 3rd and 4th. Here comes Man to the inside. He'll try to close in on Jump there, door to door, down that back straightaway. The long back straightaway here at Homestead. And we are halfway home through the first half of this event. 80 laps down, 80 laps to go, 79 when they come to the stripe. Let's rest our voices so you can enjoy the sights, the sounds, the cameras, the statics, the roars. It's time to kick some asphalt, Homestead style.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we'll do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customers and stuff. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees@yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
Battle for the lead as we went to commercial break and did kicking the asphalt together for the lead. Massey, Theory, and Greg hitting up for the second half at Homestead.
And we have a side-by-side for the lead. Massey, Richmond winner. Theory, and a win on the season as well. Racing down the front stretch. Give it to Theory, and at the line still, but a long way to go, and Nick Massey is putting the pressure on.
And we would also like to welcome eSwag. Smith Wraps and Graphics has jumped on board. Thank you to Billy Smith. Looking forward to the relationship of them being involved with your leader, your home for sim racing, LSR TV. Look for information, commercials, and special announcements on eSwag very soon. Also coming soon, a new eSwag Motorsports iRacing podcast hosted by yours truly and Ray Richer from New York. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead heats up again. It's Massey, it's Therian, battling in turn number 4, down the back straightaway, actually. These camera angles are confusing me, Greg, but it's a battle for the lead, and that's not confusing at all as they're fighting for P1 in the 3rd turn.
Trying to get a run is Massey. He will clear and take the lead back. We've seen a couple drivers come down pit road in the last few laps, Wesley. Right before we took the break, Tyler Stooksbury and Brockton Packard went down pit road. They've been getting their laps back. Bronson Stafford as well went down pit road, so he is the final car on the lead lap, but is on fresh tires, so he is pulling away from the leaders. So with that said, a couple drivers pitting off sequence. Wesley, when are we going to start seeing the top field on pit road here, as we're seeing some lap traffic? Matthew Rodriguez make a move here. Then you're seeing what the fresh tires are doing compared to the older tires, as Rodriguez, although he lost his momentum there as he caught the apron. So when are we going to start seeing the leaders on pit road?
I'm thinking probably lap 125 to 130. I don't think they can go the rest of the way. I don't think they can go the rest of the way, but I think we're going to see them pit probably around lap. Well, let's see. They pitted. They pitted at the break, right? They pitted at the end of the stage. Majority. Well, actually, everybody pitted at the end of the stage.
That was around lap 50.
Yeah. Okay, I'll change it up. I think it's going to be around lap 110 to 120. That's what I'm thinking.
All right. All right, so Wesley Allen's saying they're going to be coming down pit road in about 17 laps or so from now. But with these drivers off sequence, that's going to throw a monkey wrench into some of it. With the drivers like Rodriguez and Stooksbury, who makes it 3 wide. And those two are battling for position, Wesley, and trying to get their lap back at the same time. And Stooksbury's going to get it in the Spotify Ford Fusion to get the run. So now you're starting to think, seeing what the advantage has, question is, are these drivers who pitted off sequence and are running on fresh tires, your Stooksbury, Rodriguez, Packard, and Stafford, all these guys, what are they going to do as far as the rest of the race goes? When will they pit, and do they think they can try to save enough fuel to try to make it the end of the way? I don't think they can.
Nick Massey still leading the way in that number 4. And he has the throwback of the Busch Red Apple Light car that we actually saw Kevin Harvick drive in the All-Star race at Bristol a couple of weeks ago when I announced at Bristol. That was the color of that car, except for the fancy smancy change of the numbers and placement and the glowing light under the rear of the machine. Nonetheless, he's leading the way, Nick Massey. Shane Therian in 2nd spot. Trenton Jump 3rd. Sarge Man 4th. Eric Stamp, I know we haven't mentioned him much. 9 positions for the 53. Furthest mover through the field in that 53 car. He is in the top 5 behind these drivers battling for 3rd.
Yeah, great run for Stamp, but a side-by-side for 3rd. Sarge Man trying to get back around Trenton Jump. Remember how strong Man was in the early stages of this race, Wesley. Trying to get back up there, has the nose in front of Trenton Jump as they come off of turn number 4. Jump going to get a run on the outside. What this is doing as they cross the strike, almost a dead heat. Give it to Jump at the line by just 8/1000ths of a second was the gap that time. This is allowing Shane Therian, the Charlotte winner, to pull up on Nick Massey and try to get a shot at him now.
What a performance for this driver, Nick Massey. Out in the number 1 position. Shane Therian up 4 spots. He's in 2nd. Sarge Man stays in place in 3rd. So does Trenton Jump up 1 in 4th. 9 spots to the good for Eric Stamp. 8 spots to the bad. 10 spots to Caleb Smith. And 8 spots to Spencer Hardison. The pole car is falling back in the number 8 machine.
So problems for Hardison in the number 8. After leading some laps in the early stages, he is in trouble of falling outside the top 10 now as Brecky is coming up on him, and he's got Gretorix behind him. Gretorix, the highest scored Chevy. When we last checked in, it was in 17th. Gretorix is bringing the Bowtie Brigade up, knocking on the door of the top 10 now, as he is in 11th trying to track down Brecky. So the Chevy's beginning to show some life here in this one.
Closing in on lap 100. Things going really good for these drivers here tonight. And as Sergeant Man still battles with Shane Therian for second, Nick Massey is loving what he sees, and he is pulled away from the entire pack.
He is pulled away from Therian, and while those two were drafting away and Man and Jump were battling it out, Jump, by the way, has given way to Man to move Man back into the third spot to try to reel in the 38 of Therian. Believe we may start seeing a couple drivers on pit road. No, it was Hardison getting out of the way of Brecky, and yes, he is slowing down, so we are going to see the pole sitter duck down onto pit road. Spencer Hardison is locking up the brakes. I think he was going too fast. I think he's going to get a speeding penalty there.
That's Spencer Hardison, as well as the 30 car on the pit lane. 38, Shane Therian, correction. They pit. I figured it was around lap, what did I say?
About 110. We're on lap 101 now, so
yeah,
a little bit early, but we're starting to see him come in.
And here comes everyone else on the pit lane. Sergeant Man is in. Trent Jump is in.
Nick Massey's still out there. Tom Bourne is going to inherit the second spot as he stays out there. Pit road, a very busy place now, Wesley.
My prediction was off by about 8 laps. I was thinking around lap 110 or so. 8 laps shy, and they're on the pit lane. Sergeant Man, Trent and Jump having hit their pit stall boxes, ready to go to work here. And by the way, we are under 100 laps completed, and we have like less than 60 laps to go. So we're over 100 laps complete. 58 laps to go, actually. Look at that pit stop.
I don't know if we may be able to catch a replay, but man, oh man, the number 38 of Shane Therian trying to hustle and get his lap back, slingshot around the outside of Tom Bourne off turn number 4 last time by. He was sideways off of turn number 4, making the pass on Tom Bourne, who was drifting high. So Therian sliding on the outside with a shrinking room to be able to make a pass, made it to try to track down our leader. Incredible move there by Therian.
We call that dirt tracking it. And I bet you our producer, Charles Wooten, and our production truck for LSR TV can find what you were talking about in the 38 of Shane Therian, and there you go.
Right,
you asked, you shall receive. Go ahead, Greg, you saw it. All
right, let's see if it's this lap. He's going into turn number 3. Yes, watch him slide right there.
Oh!
They're tracking it around Tom Bourne, who was sliding up the track. He's a lap down trying to get his lap back. That's your Charlotte winner earlier this season with that pass right there.
That was a slide job and a crossover, baby.
Leader on pit road, Wesley. Nick Massey pitting from the race lead.
Here comes Massey. He's got 1 win on the season. He will give up the lead and give it to the Daytona winner. Tom Bourne will now move to the lead. Robert Kinney, the Daytona winner, now is in second. Logan Breaky third in a cycle of green flag pit stops, if you will, underway.
Tom Bourne led a lap. He's going to duck down pit road now. He's going to bring Robert Kinney with him. Rest of the field getting going. Believe Logan Brecky is going to pit as well Gretorix. I believe this is going to complete the cycle, as now Bronson Stafford, who pitted off sequence, is going to inherit the race lead, Wesley. So now the question is, how far can Stafford go? He pitted off sequence. He's got the lead now. How far can he go before he has to come back down?
Good question. Understanding he came to the pits on lap 80, Greg.
Yep, lap 80 was his pit stop. He's got 25, make it 26 at the line, laps on his tires. So, lap 80, that's exactly halfway. I don't think he can make it the rest of the distance. I think he's going to have to pit again. We saw the leaders go about 50 laps, so if Stafford holds up to that, maybe expect him around lap 130 or so. 120, 130, somewhere in there.
So it looks like the green flag cycle of pit stops have concluded. The green flag cycle of pit stops have concluded. And now we are set for the, could we say the home stretch, Greg? Do we think everybody could go to the end?
It's going to be close to go to the end. I think we're going to see some drivers save fuel to try to go to the end, because from where they started pitting, they were about 5 laps short of the finish if they were to match that run. They came in with around 50, 55 laps into that run. There's about 60 laps to go there, so they might be able to make it. It'll be close, though.
And Bronson Stafford is now the man up 14 positions to the lead here on lap 109. 108 complete. 52 to go. And the driver that is the all-time winner this season on the Adrenaline iRacing League Series Cup Tour with 3 wins. Most recently, that caution field event at Bristol with 26 cautions to halt the event. Bronson Stafford is leading the way in car number 61.
Here's a name we haven't mentioned a whole lot, Wesley. Look who's up in second place, the number 88, Matt Dyer. He has also gained over 10 spots. He has now started 13th. He's in second in the Snap-on Mustang. He's had a nice quiet run. Haven't mentioned him a whole lot. The problem for him is that number 38 behind him in third, Shane Therian, is on much, much fresher tires. And we know how strong that number 38 is here today, as he has led for quite a bit before this pit stop cycle.
Matt Dyer is one of those drivers that our producer Charles loves to cut up with and play on the 88 car. He has a nickname for him. Too sexy. Too sexy Matt Dyer. And that's why he calls him that. I will refuse to call him that. You got it once out of me.
Wow,
Matt
that
Dyer.
was so much fun to watch there. You saw that on board with Therian getting right up on the back bumper of Dyer, taking the air off the spoiler.
Yes,
saying,
sir.
Excuse me, sir. I have a race to go win, as he gets around, move Therian back in the second.
As Ricky Bobby said, excuse me, coming through. He'll move to second. Shane Therian now looking for his second win on the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. He leads Stafford in 61. And there's the interval. Picky-boo, I see you. Or should you say virtually, here, kitty, kitty. There's the interval between the top 3 as they go to 4.
He is closing in on Stafford. 5 laps ago, Wesley, it was 5 seconds, the gap between Therian, who was in third at the time, and Stafford. It's now half a second. Therian has been closing a second a lap. He should be able to get around him here possibly by the time we get back to the finish line. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Oh, Stafford threw a block to try to keep Therian at bay. I don't think the 38's going to appreciate that. We'll see what he does here. He's going to get up on the bottom as Stafford slid up the track. Back to the lead goes Shane Therian.
Shane Therian will not be denied. He will go back to the point here at Homestead, back to turn 1. Laps winding down. Shane Therian. Stafford in second. Matt Dyer third. Sergeant Man Trenton jumped the top 5. Stamp Stooksbury. Massey, DeWeese, the pole car, Hardison, the top 10. Why don't you give me the rest of the rundown?
Starting off in 11th is the car that started 11th. He's had a roller coaster day. Jacob Grant in the 5. Robert Kenny, Tom Bourne, who was having a nice run but mired back after the pit stops. in 13th under pressure from Logan Brecky for that spot. Then you got the Gretorixes, Austin and Calvin, 15th and 16th. Caleb Smith, Alex Walter, Brockton Packard. Final car on the lead lap. 2 cars laps down. Evan Coleman, who's 4 laps down in the number 9. Matthew Rodriguez, who is 20 laps down on pit road. Something must have happened to the number 6. We missed it, as he was trying to get his lap back at one point, now on pit road, and has been on there for quite some time. 21 laps down and counting for Matthew Rodriguez. That's your rundown, Wesley.
Pit stop strategy on the bottom right of the monitor. And you can see who can go to the end. I'm thinking they could all go except for the guys maybe like Stamp, Massey, and Stooksbury. But for the drivers like Therian and Dyer, Stafford, Mann, I think they're good to go.
It'll definitely be interesting. If Therian can make it, it's going to be hard to beat that number 38 car, Wesley. The entire second stage, he has proven that he is the car to beat here, making the right adjustments to that car, getting it exactly the way he likes it. The sun has gone down, the lights are on, and Shane Therian, winner at Charlotte a few weeks ago, is really looking strong now. Going around the number 24 of Brockton Packard, put him a lap down. Therian is pulling away 2 seconds ahead of Dyer, and that lead is growing with every lap.
Shane Therian, Matt Dyer, Sergeant Mann, Trenton Jump, Bronson Stafford, the top 5. One more commercial break as we approach 40 laps to go, and we will take you caution-free, commercial-free, hopefully caution-free, to the checkered flag. More from Homestead Sunday night. The Adrenaline Cup iRacing League is on LSR TV.
ETE Reman is the world's best remanufacturer of transmissions for import and domestic cars and trucks. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our customers are repair shops, auto parts stores, dealerships, and distributors. And with 6 nationwide warehouses, we're where and when you need us. So when you're looking for a transmission that is like new, only better, instill confidence and install ETE Reman.
Three-time winner Bronson Stafford coming to pit road. This is unexpected. Is this an unscheduled pit stop? Can they not go to the finish, Greg Rentz?
Now, this is expected from Stafford. Remember, he was the one that was off sequence, and this is right around where I said 50 laps he could go. He's coming in around lap number 40 of his run, so he's good to go from here to the finish, Wesley. He just went 40 laps. He can go to the finish, and if these guys in front of him can't make it... Oh,
Therian's on pit road!
This is unexpected. This is off
Shane Therian on pit road! I was not expecting this one!
Stokesbury as well. I think these drivers saw Stafford come in and realized they were in trouble, because these drivers were just on pit road not too long ago. They're setting up for the end, and they didn't want Stafford having that advantage.
My goodness, I was thinking that they could be able to go to the finish. Boy, have they proved me wrong. Or is it because the elephant in the room is Bronson Stafford, and they are following what the 3-time series winner this season's done in 61. Shane Therian giving up all that track position. He'll fall all the way back to 16th.
Well, he'll be able to go the distance from here on, Wesley, but man, I am surprised that they came down like that quickly. As soon as Stafford made his left turn on the pit road, you saw Therian, who has been the strongest car the second half of the race, duck in, and now the rest of the field following suit. Looks like the 53 of Stamp is going to come in from 5th. Yes, he is. The 53 on pit road. So now we're seeing a mixed bag of pit strategy here. Sarge-Man leading the way now in the 49. How far can he go?
I'm telling you, Greg, I really thought that with their last pit stop around lap 110, I figured they could go to the finish. I don't understand what this strategy is of why they're doing what they're doing. Maybe they got a feeling that there's going to be cautions here at the end of this deal, and they're wanting to just go ahead and top off the tanks and get good fresh tires. Here comes Trenton Jump on the pit lane. He is coming into the pits. And I'll be honest with you guys, it could have been that they might not have took fuel. They might not have filled their tanks up.
Maybe
the
not
last
getting
pit stop.
Not getting enough fuel, perhaps. Therian gets around Man, move him back onto the lead lap. Trenton Jump pitting from second. He was your stage winner earlier today. Pulls into his pit stall. The crew going to work. Right side's up. There's your race leader, Sarge-Man. And this is the one I'm curious about, Wesley. Is he going to come in, or is he going to go as long as he possibly can and lead as many laps as he can and try to even make it to the end? We figured he was close.
Matt Dyer on pit lane. Matt Dyer on the pit lane. Logan Brakey on the pit lane. Man, I'm telling you, Greg, I got a feeling I didn't miscalculate. I don't know. I feel like there's a strategy going on here.
I feel like they were on the edge of making it. But when Stafford came in and knew he was good to go and they knew how strong he was going to be, as you're seeing it right here as he goes around Sarge-Man to get the race lead. That's Nick Massey on pit road. That's second place on pit road. And Stafford,
but you're taking a gamble, though. Stafford and Therian are taking the gamble.
Man's coming this time.
Sarge-Man's coming to the pit lane, the leader in the 49 car. That's what they're saying.
Yep, he's got his hand out the window, and he's coming in now. Going to slow it down, and he cannot afford a mistake here getting on the pit road.
And now Braxton DeWeese will move to the lead.
Nope,
Spencer Hardison, he's coming to the pit lane as well.
Hardison's going to take the lead. Hardison stays out. DeWeese coming in from second. Move Hardison, the pole sitter, back to the lead.
I just can't believe what we're seeing here. I swear I would have thought that they would have had enough fuel to go to the end here, to go to the finish.
I think they were on the bubble, and when Stafford came in, everyone realized they were in trouble of possibly not being able to make it, and Stafford guaranteeing he would make it. I think that was the first domino to fall and got everybody on the pit road here.
And mind you, as we look at Spencer Hardison leading the way, look at who's climbing the ladder in 5th and 6th. Right there, one behind each other. Shane Therian, Bronson Stafford, 5th and 6th on the racetrack as the cars are dropping off like flies, pulling into the pit lane, taking on tires and fuel for what is their money stop now with under 30 to go.
4 cars have yet to pit. Hardison, Gretorix, Grant, and Bourne.
This is the difference of 5-lap tires on a 100-lap run compared to a 5-lap run on tires. Hardison and Gretorix. I rest my case.
5 laps difference on screen right there. Hardison and Gretorix, 1st and 2nd. Tom Bourne pitting from 4th. He's just now coming back out on the track. That only leaves 3 cars that have yet to pit. Hardison, Gretorix, and Grant. Hardison showing no sign of coming down pit road anytime soon. Wesley, Gretorix going to duck down on the pit road from 2nd.
Gretorix is on the pit lane. Austin Gretorix. Yeah, but Austin and a Calvin. Calvin's on pit lane along with Austin, who was in 3rd. And Spencer Hardison, the leader. Jacob Grant, remember, he brought out the first caution. Battling with Braxton DeWeese for position. And now the pole car, the leader. For the 3rd time in the race at Homestead, Spencer Hardison onto the pit lane under the darkness of the night.
As is Grant.
And Grant's right behind him. And
Shane
guess
Therian.
What happens? You cycle it all back around, and Shane Therian back to P1. Bronson Stafford sitting now in second spot as they cross the line, but there's the interval, Greg, from first to second by maybe a straightaway and a half.
And
a straightaway.
It's growing because Therian has a little bit fresher tires, but that was possibly what Stafford was trying to do there. Pit off sequence, throw everyone off their game. He cycles through in the second position with quite a bit of gap. If he can catch a caution here in the late stages, Stafford might be sitting pretty here for this one.
This strategy has absolutely threw me for a loop. I never would have thought that they would have to come to the pits under 100, over 100 laps in the race on lap 120. In the last 10 laps, we have seen some craziness as now we go 3 wide, and these guys picking up right where they left off of the racetrack. 53 stamp, man and Dyer. Here comes Massey, 4 cars battling for the top 5 here at Homestead.
This is fourth on back, excuse me, as Mann trying to battle it out with Dyer. Massage Mann saw how fast he was in the early stages, clear up to third. He's got 3 seconds though to reel in Trenton Jump, who in turn has a second and a half on Bronson Stafford to reel in.
Therian looking for that second win on the series. Stafford in second spot. Jump third, Mann fourth, Dyer in the top 5. They pack it up after tonight at Homestead virtually and go to Indianapolis. Next Sunday is the 104th running of the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500. And a short time thereafter, it's round number 9 of the Adrenaline iRacing League. Coverage 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Central LSR TV time on your home for sim racing. And we go from 1.5 miles of Homestead to the big Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I just kind of find that ironic, Greg, because remember when we came on the air, I said this is a miniature version of Indianapolis.
Definitely ironic, and looking forward to Indianapolis next weekend. Hopefully I'll be able to be on the call. Unfortunately, not going to know until closer to if I am available for that one, but looking forward to that one regardless.
Somebody asking a question, Shift Squeaky, how do I sign up for this league?
Well, we have league president Tanner Johnson watching. He's in the chat, so maybe Tanner can get him pointed in the right direction. And I understand there's a couple of drivers in my neck of the woods up here in the Pacific Northwest also showing interest in perhaps giving a run at this league. So perhaps Mr. Johnson can give some information in the chat about joining this great league.
And remember, Sunday night is just the kickoff of some of the awesome coverage that LSR TV provides as we see Stafford now trying to run down Jump and Sergeant Man trying to run down Stafford for third. But this is the kickoff of the awesome coverage that LSR TV always provides. Tonight, the Adrenaline iRacing League every Sunday night at 6:30 Eastern. On Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, it is the next round of the Monday Night Cup Series fueled by World of Thunder. That will be at 8 o'clock Eastern. At 11:15 Eastern, it is the Northwest iRacing Cup Series. Justin Prince, Greg Rentz, along in the tower. I'm in the pit lane. That is on Monday night. Tuesday night, coming soon on September 1st, it is the NASRA National Cup Series with coverage on LSR TV. Also on Wednesday night, coverage of the NASRA Outlaw Super Late Model Series at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, along with the World of Thunder on LSR TV every Wednesday night of Dirt. Thursday, not done yet. Thursday, AMA Next Gen Challenge Series. Also coming soon, the NASRA ARCA Driver Development Series. And that is between the 8 o'clock mark, Eastern Time. Then at 11:45, the nightcap includes Greg Rentz and myself in the booth for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series at 11:45 Eastern. And coming soon on Friday night during the fall, it is the NASRA Super Truck Series. And don't forget, also coming soon, a NASRA All-Stars Cup Series on Thursday evening. My goodness, Greg, it's all a part of your home for sim racing, LSR TV.
As the weather turns back to the chilly side and we gear up for fall, make sure you tune in on LSR TV. Plenty of great racing coming up in the coming months as we move out of summer. And Wesley, unfortunately, with everything that happened here this year, we didn't really get the summer that we were all hoping for. But I gotta say, having all this great racing on LSR TV and so much more on the way has really helped us with that situation.
There's the interval between first and third in 5-lap increments from 137 to 141. He is closing.
Nick Massey's coming, by the way, Wesley. He has just gotten around Trenton Jump. Richmond winner Nick Massey has just cracked the top 3 once again and is about half a second back of Sarge Mann. We might not be done with this number 4 Busch red car.
Nick Massey won at Richmond a couple of weeks ago, ironically, when I was in Richmond, Kentucky. Shane Therian looking for that second win. Still the all-time winner of the series this year is Bronson Stafford with 3. He is currently in 5th. And 17 to go here at Homestead. There's the leader. And there's Stafford, correction.
Stafford hanging in 5th place right now, was hoping for a caution, but now is in a spot that's his only hope, is if he can catch a caution here in the last 16 laps, because that would cause everybody to pit and throw off this pit cycle that happened here about 20 laps ago. So if Stafford can catch a caution, he might not be done just yet, but if we stay green, he's in a lot of trouble here as Therian has opened it up quite a bit on the rest of the field. 2 seconds back to Sarge Mann, who is holding steady with Massey behind him. About half a second still, so good run for Mann. Led a lot of the early stages here, and here he is, closing stages. Going to be 15 to go this time by in 2nd place. Nice run for the 49. And remember, Wesley, he almost missed this race because there was a call against him by the iRacing server. Was not administered by a series official. It was an iRacing penalty that came down. They had to hurry and clear that. Otherwise, Mann may have missed the race, and here he is in 2nd.
What a great job for that driver of Sarge Mann. Gotta give props to him, even if he doesn't win this race. An awesome performance for the driver in that 49 car. Nick Massey in that number 4 machine, sitting in 3rd. The driver won at Richmond. But the thing is he is not an active member of the Adrenaline iRacing League, so therefore that win, it's a win, but it's like an encumbered win because it doesn't go towards going to the playoffs per se.
Yeah, we'll see.
We haven't heard that word encumbered in a long time, have we?
Nah, because encumbered wins aren't so much a thing in NASCAR anymore. From now on, if you fail tech, you're dead last. Sorry, pal. As that,
and I love it that way.
Yeah, I do too. That's how it should be, in my opinion. That's how it is on the short tracks here.
Yep.
All across the country. I think that's how it should be everywhere, and I'm happy NASCAR made that step. But weird hearing that word again, encumbered. Like you said, it's been a long time since we heard that word.
Yes, sir.
Look
at the manufacturers
split
there. Yeah,
and
sorry,
again,
we're talking on top of each other. There you go, bud.
Sorry about that, Wesley. But again, manufacturers split. Austin Gretorix in the highest scored Chevy in 13th. You got 2 Toyotas up front, but that might be changing here in a minute because Nick Massey in his Ford is all over Sarge Mann in the number 49. But Wesley, you know what I see on here? I see a need for a couple more Chevys out in the field. Wouldn't you agree? So I think we need a couple more bow ties in the mix here moving forward to add some more flavor to this.
Who's your pick to win? I just put it in the chat box. We hope you're enjoying the coverage on LSR TV. Coming in on the final 10-lap stretch. And I still got a feeling, guys, this is going to go to the caution free to the end. And by the way, mind you, if that's the case, Greg, only 2 cautions. 1 for the end of the stage, 1 for a caution early in the race with Grant and DeWeese.
Such an impressive showing, Wesley, but I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Whether or not this goes green the rest of the way or not, it is almost impossible to go against what the 38 car has done tonight. Second half of the race, ever since the stage break, Shane Therian has been the strongest car here at the track. I think whether or not this goes green to the end of the race, I think he's going to be able to pull off this one. He has been so strong this evening.
There was one car that I had a feeling that could have been, well, there's 2 cars actually that I've had a feeling that could have been in the hunt to give him a run for the money for the win. One is Sergeant Man or Trenton Jump. They had their heyday up at the front. The other guy, a strong pick, is mired in 6th place, 8 seconds back, and that's Bronson Stafford. When Stafford got mired back after that pit stop, Katie barred the door. I think it gave the win to Shane Therian.
We'll see. One car is on pit road. It's the number 24 of Packard, who is a lap down. But, Wesley, remember, we thought a car coming down pit road last time was just a one-off, and all of a sudden the entire field came down. We think they're good to go to the green, and I'm assuming they are, but who knows what could happen. I'm not saying they're going to come down, as I think Packard had stayed out as long as he could and had stretched it as far as he could. Inside of 10 laps to go, I think you got to go until you run out at this point.
Under 10 laps to go. Time to place your cards on the table, so to speak. Coming up next week, it'll be Indianapolis. The battle now heating up for second, as Greg said.
Man was
closing in.
Man was taking a peek at Massey, but Massey was able to get a good run into the turn 3 and keep him back there. So it settles down for now 1.7 back to Therian. Massey is closing a 1/10 of a second a lap, but with only 7 laps to go, that's not enough time.
What a job by Shane Therian, looking for that second win on the series. By the way, his first win came at Charlotte. He won the Charlotte All-Star, or he won the Charlotte 600-miler. And my goodness, that was a grueling race. The Orgain 600K winner was Shane Therian. He's been on the slump in the last 3 weeks, but now he is strong again in that number 38 machine.
Massey still a little bit faster, 1.5 the gap now, still a 1/10 of a second, but he's going to have to cut that triple if he wants to get up to Therian with enough time. There's going to be 5 laps to go at the line. Massey's going to need to be 3/10 of a second faster a lap from here on, and the way Therian's been running, I just don't see that happening. So Therian, 5 to go for the 38, looking for win number 2.
Open hand from your flagman here at Virtual Homestead. Shane Therian looking for his second win of the Adrenaline iRacing League, continuing his run in the points and mired and ready to go in the playoffs. Therian, Massey, believe it or not, he is closing in on that interval for first place on Therian. Nick Massey, the 4, is coming. Does he have enough time, Greg?
I don't think so. He is only getting a 1/10 of a second a lap, and with 4 to go at the line, margin was 1.4 last time. See what it is this time. Another 1/10, but at the rate he's going, he's going to run out of time.
1.3 seconds. A moment ago, it was 1.8.
Yeah, it's cut down a 1/10 of a second a lap. Therian has been consistent, 33 8-second laps. Massey's been 33 7s. Been that way for about 5 laps now. He's been closing, but he's not got enough time.
There's the interval in 5-lap increments for first and second. The game of cat and mouse, mano a mano. Jean Girard, Ricky Bobby on course now between Therian and Massey. And 3 to go. Does he got enough time? Greg says no. But there's the interval. And ready to pounce like a coiled cobra on these 2 is Sergeant Man, the man in the 49 car. One wrong slip, and he'll take it away like candy from a baby, and not even on Halloween, but the hot summer months of August. 3.
Back.
Make it 2 to go at the line, Greg.
Tyrion still leading the way. This time Massey able to take away 0.2 of a second, but it's 1.1 back. He's going to have to go all out if he wants to get up there. I just don't think he's got enough time. That number 38 has been way too strong. Man, hanging back there, but Massey was the fastest car on the track that time. Was able to pull away from Sarge Man, who is still spaced out pretty evenly, but white flag coming out this time for Shane Tyrion.
Final time around. There it is, the G Fuel entry of Shane Tyrion into turn 1 for the final time. Massey, Man, running out of time. They're on the back straightaway, Greg.
Off turn number 2, Tyrion just has to have one more good corner, and he is going to come to win number 2 on the season. G Fuel on board the Toyota Camry here tonight. And through 3 and 4, a great run for Shane Tyrion. He's coming to the checkered, Wesley.
Off of turn 4, he won at Charlotte, and now he will win here at Homestead. 2 wins on the season in the Adrenaline iRacing League for Shane Tyrion in 38. Nick Massey, nothing to hold your head down about. He'll finish 2nd. Sarge Man will have one of the best runs of his season so far on the Adrenaline iRacing League, and will finish in 3rd. Trenton Jump, Matt Dyer coming back to finish in the top 5. Stamp, Stafford, DeWeese, Kenny, Daytona winner, and Logan Brakey, the top 10.
Tom Bourne going to come home in 11th. Tyler Stooksbury, Austin Gretorix, highest finishing Chevy. Spencer Hardison, Caleb Smith, Alex Walter, Calvin Gretorix, Jacob Grant, Brockton Packard, Evan Coleman, Matt Rodriguez is your finishing order. But coming down the front stretch now, win number 2 on the season for Shane Tyrion. And he's had about 5 drivers come up and give him a little bit of a donut on the passenger side door, but he is going to burn it down. Smoke him if you got him. Shane Tyrion, 2-time winner. He's celebrating here on the front stretch.
What a phenomenal job there for Shane Tyrion in car number 38. What a performance for him, burning it down, his 2nd win. While he celebrates, let's take a look at the official standings of tonight's race, the official race rundown. Top 3 interviews coming up on the Clan Wars servers post-race wrap-up. But first, a look at this race interval at the checkered flag. Just shy under a second, Shane Tyrion taking down Nick Massey. Nick Massey will settle for 2nd. Sarge Man, what a great run for him. He'll finish this race in 3rd. There's his teammate, Daytona winner, Robert Kinney down there celebrating him in the G Fuel plant. Sitting in 4th, Sarge Man, Trenton Jump, Matt Dyer, Eric Stamp, Stafford, the man out of Canada, we thought at one time was going for his 4th win. He would have to settle for 7th. Braxton DeWeese, 8th. Robert Kinney, 9th. And Logan Brakey rounds out the top 10.
Tom Bourne coming home in 11th. Tyler Stooksbury, 12th. Austin Gretorix, 13th. To match his car number, Spencer Hardison, pole sitter, final car on the lead lap, and then drivers 1 lap down, Caleb Smith, Alex Walter, Calvin Gretorix 2 laps down with Jacob Grant, Brockton Packard, Evan Coleman finished it out in the top 20. The only DNF tonight, Wesley, was the number 6 of Matthew Rodriguez, finishes in 21st position.
So that's the way it finishes here at Homestead for the Adrenaline iRacing League Cup Series on this Sunday night in round number 8. Coming up, the Clan Wars servers post-race wrap-up. We'll talk to the top 3. We'll wrap it up and get ready for Indianapolis next week. Big win, 2nd win on the season for Team G Fuel and Shane Tyrion. More in a moment on your home for Sim Racing LSR TV. It's now time for the Clan Wars servers post-race wrap-up after round number 8 in the books for the Adrenaline iRacing League Cup Series tonight at Homestead-Miami. Joining us is Shane Tyrion. He wins here. I keep saying Shane Tyrion. I'm sorry. It's the Southern. It's the American in me. He's from France. Shane Tyrion, the winner. Shane, your second win in that G Fuel number 38. You won at Charlotte. You win this race. Which one's more special?
This one. I've struggled at this track. I just took it easy all race and realized that it was fast the way around. So this one's good, and it's my first race with the new sponsor G Fuel on the hood and the new paint scheme, and I'll one for one on this paint scheme. So I might just retire it at this point.
You did really, really good, Shane Tyrion. You led 64 laps tonight, the most laps by anybody. Was there any drivers that you were trying to keep an eye on? And what was the strategy when Stafford came down the pit lane? Were y'all possibly not going to be able to make it on tires and fuel for the finish, or was I off on my calculations?
Well, I couldn't make it on fuel, and I saw Bronson's strategy, and I was like, okay, that might work. He might pit when we catch him, but then he didn't. He waited a few laps, so I literally just took his strategy, and he's not happy about it. I pitted a lap after him, and got the tires before anybody else did, because I knew the tires would even out like 15, 20 laps into a run, so if nobody caught me within those 15 and 20 laps, I was pretty golden at that point.
Again, you said he was kind of heartbroken. Were you expecting him to kind of hang with you, so to speak? And he pitted first. How come you were able to get one up on him to take the checkered flag to the finish?
He waited until he was about 4 seconds behind me before he pitted. So when I pitted a lap after him, he wasn't able to gain the time. So he was upset I took his strategy because he wanted a chance to lead and have a chance to win, but I took it away.
Wow. Again, your second win on the series. I know that you can kind of relax because you already know with the win you're in the playoffs. So, but is it just winning now, putting those checkered flags on the cars?
Yeah, I like these big tracks, and I'm probably gonna do my best to win at Indy. I'm really good there, so that'll be a good show. But the 48 and the 61 are probably gonna give me a hard time because they're also pretty good there. So we'll see what happens.
Sponsors.
Yeah, Evil Controllers, of course. I didn't have them running this week, but they're on the car as always. And then you got G Fuel, it's a new partner for the team, and my first time running them. And then of course Sky Motorsports with Bronson and Kenny and Austin, and then Ground Motorsports with Calvin, Rodriguez, Nick Massey, and Tom Bourne. We always put on a show, and we're keeping the streak alive. Besides Watkins Glen, it's been our two teams, so we keep it going.
Congratulations to Shane Tyrion. He picks up the win, and now 2 wins now with the Adrenaline iRacing League Cup Series as we go to Indianapolis next Sunday night. Second place, Nick Massey, as we continue with the Clan Wars Servers post-race wrap-up. Nick, you have 1 win on the series. You're not officially a member, though, man. When are you going to finally sign up for membership and try to make a run for a championship points battle?
I think I am full-time now. I just got to get in the top 20 in points, so I don't know if this run puts me there, or not quite yet, but hopefully we can get there before the playoffs start here shortly.
I know you have 1 win. You have 1 win. You won at Richmond, so is the plan to try to run for a championship?
That is the plan, yeah. I got to give, Shane and all these fast guys in here a run for their money here.
I hear you for sure, bud. Well, listen, you had a strong car. Was there ever a time that you thought you had the piece that could win the race, and what was the outcome that changed the finish, allowing Tyrion to win it?
Yeah, I thought I had good speed for the whole race. It's just after that stage there, I tried to make it on 1 stop on fuel, and then I figured out lap probably 120 or so that it was just 3 or 4 laps short, and I never reset my clutch pedal, so I couldn't clutch it and save the 3 or 4 laps. But I don't know if that would have been the right strategy in the end. I think Shane and all these guys that pitted 2 times had the right call off the bat. But I think it's fun doing all these strategy races, but I always seem to be on the wrong side of them. I can never seem to pick the right one right away. So, but yeah, it was fun.
So you're kind of on the outside box looking in because you have to make it in the top 20 in the point standings. Even though you have a win at Richmond, you're still trying to climb the ladder. But you feel like with this runner-up finish, it's going to at least solidify you in the top 20 and give you a shot in the playoffs.
I hope so. I don't know where. I got to look after the race somewhere. I know I was just on the outside looking in after this one. So hopefully this one, I forget how many races we have left for the playoffs, but hopefully I got some time to get up there and compete in these playoffs here.
All right, there's the man in the number 4 machine, Nick Massey. Sponsor time on that car, getting second.
I'm just running the Kevin Harvick Busch Light schemes right now, but maybe we'll get some sponsors on there next week.
There you go. By the way, that's the same car when I announced the All-Star race at Bristol back in July. About a month ago, as a matter of fact, that was the car that he drove in the All-Star race. So I remember that car very, very well, with the exception of the Dayglow light under the back of the car.
Good-looking car.
Yes, sir. Definitely, for sure. Nick Massey, again, runner-up in the race. And finally, man, I'm looking forward to talking to this guy, car number 49, Sarge, man. I'll tell you what, Sarge, what a run for you, buddy. Man, 3rd place. It's got to feel like a win for you.
I wouldn't say it feels like a win. I'm kind of disappointed. In the first stage, I felt like I had the car to beat, but the transition into nighttime really killed me there. I feel like when it transitions into from day to night, that's just where I lose all momentum, and it takes me like 20 laps to get all that speed that I had back. So I feel like if there was a few cautions there, I could have probably pulled it off, but yeah.
Oh, a tough break there for you. I can sense the disappointment now in your voice. But, I mean, a podium, 3rd place, though.
Yeah, I guess a podium's fine. But, yeah. Podium's fine. What do you take
from a track that's similar? We just saw a blimp view. Maybe our producer, Charles Wooden, can show it again. A blimp view of Homestead. It looks just like a miniature version of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. What can you take from the race, tonight to prepare for Indy on the big 2.5 mile next week?
I mean, just the fact that there's no actual, tri-oval or anything, and that, obviously it's a much bigger track, and obviously with much less banking. So I don't know how much I can actually take into Indy. I've never actually driven on that track in these current Cup cars, so
gotcha.
We're going to be going in there with a clean mind, seeing how it
kind of going in there with the blinders on for sure. Hey, you have any sponsors on that car number 49?
Yeah, I would just like to thank my team, SPG Esports.
All right, there is Sarge, man. He will finish in the 3rd.
Well, I think we may have accidentally lost Wesley there for a second. Sarge, man, of course, finishing in the 3rd spot. Congratulations to him. And again, a win to Shane Tyrion. We've been saying his name wrong the whole time. Sorry about that, Shane. But win number 2 on the season for him. Nick Massey 2nd. Sarge, man, best finish of the season in 3rd. And that about wraps it up here
for the
Adrenaline Racing League here on LSR TV tonight. So next up, we're headed to the big 2.5 mile super speedway, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, coming your way next week here on LSR TV.
I'm sorry, guys. I thought we were jumping back from the previous broadcast channel to the other one after the interviews. I thought you just couldn't do the interviews, Greg. My bad.
Oh, it's all good, but
I thought we were going to go back to the other channel, but anyhow, Greg, what's your thoughts of these drivers' top 3 here tonight at Homestead-Miami, and we get packed up and go to Indianapolis next week?
Good race here tonight. Shane Tyrion getting the win and heading to Indianapolis next week. So hopefully I'll be able to be in here on the call. If not, I'll definitely be able to catch the replay.
I hope so, man. Definitely always a fun time being able to work with you. By the way, I just want to send a big thanks to Mr. Trenton Jump, who has created this series and has done a phenomenal job with the Adrenaline iRacing League banner for sure. By the way, cover all the action at Adrenaline iRacing League on, of course, Dan Leeson. Check out the points. And again, we'll get ready for Indianapolis coming up next weekend, next Sunday night. Again, 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 LSR TV time on your home for sim racing. When it's all said and done, Shane Darian picks up his second win on the series from small Homestead-Miami, Indianapolis. We'll get ready for the big one, the Brickyard, next Sunday. For producer, director Charles Wooten, for Greg Rentz, I'm Wesley Outland. Thank you for joining us for coverage of Sunday night's Adrenaline iRacing League Cup Series on LSR TV. God bless you all. Be good to one another. Have a great start to your week and keep on praying for America.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.